A showdown in Aspen, hell in the media, lifelong resentment, at least from one side. Keep watching for a full rundown of the acrimonious relationship between Ivana Trump and Marla Maples. The first wife of former President Donald Trump, Ivana Trump, died on July 14, 2022 in her Manhattan home. Donald and Ivana were married from 1977 until 1992, when Marla Maples, Donald's second wife, came into the picture. It's not shocking to learn that the two women were never the best of friends. In her memoir, Raising Trump, Ivana had this to say about the first time she and Maples met. This young blonde woman approached me out of the blue and said, "I'm Marla, and I love your husband. Do you?" I said, "Get lost. I love my husband." According to Vanity Fair, Maples' relationship with Donald was all over the New York tabloids in the early 1990s. Maples had also just given birth to Tiffany Trump, Donald's fourth child, and she was ready to get married as soon as Donald's divorce with Ivana was finalized.
You said that the Donald was the best sex you'd ever had.
Hey, you know he's not the only one who lies to the press.
Whether or not the relationship with Marla Maples was what ultimately doomed Ivana and Donald Trump's marriage, it's obvious that Ivana and Marla never became friends.
I don't want to talk about her. She's a showgirl, never achieved anything in her life.
Ivana wrote in Raising Trump, "I'm not saying that if it weren't for the showgirl, Donald and I would still be together, or that my life since our divorce hasn't been a wonderful adventure of love, travel, success, and laughter. I've had a fabulous life. But that woman knowingly entered into a relationship with my husband, the father of 3 small children." Ivana went on to say that Maples humiliated her in the media, adding, "I went through hell, and then I was expected to be okay with her being around my children? We all have deep scars from that period of our lives, in part due to her actions. The fact that the kids and I came through the entire ordeal stronger is irrelevant." Maples, on the other hand, said she wished Ivana nothing but love, telling People in 2016, "I love her kids, and if she's holding any kind of resentment toward me, I really hope, for her sake, that she can forgive me." Given the dominance that Donald and Ivana Trump had over New York City tabloid headlines in the 1980s, it was no surprise that when Ivana found out Donald was allegedly having an affair with Maples, it became news that reverberated around the world. Although the exact details of Ivana and Marla's initial confrontation remain hazy and vary from source to source, it is clear that it took place during a vacation the Trumps took with their children to an Aspen, Colorado ski resort in 1989. Every account makes clear that it was messy and packed with personal insults. According to People, Ivana shouted at Maples, "You leave my husband alone." Another source claimed that the two women threw snowballs and hissed at each other. Donald gave his own recounting of the events in a 1994 interview.
Marla and Ivana were here, and there wasn't shouting, but you could obviously see there was some friction.
In any case, the result was the same. Donald and Ivana Trump ended up in a notoriously messy divorce that was finalized in 1992. Donald would marry Maples the following year. Donald and Marla would then divorce 6 years later in 1999. Regardless of the hatred Ivana might have carried in her heart for Maples in the years after her marriage, she clearly kept a very special place in her heart for Donald, endorsing him in both of his presidential campaigns and continuing to advise him well into his presidency.
I have the direct number to White House.
Despite Ivana telling the New York Post in 2016 that she refused to forgive Maples for breaking up her marriage with Donald, Maples has expressed her sadness over their inability to patch things up, telling People, "I've never had any intention of hurting her." Maples added that she wished Ivana absolutely the best. The status of Maples' relationship with Ivana at the time of her death is not clear, but one would have to assume that the two of them never settled their differences. Unless we hear otherwise, you'd have to think Ivana continued to hold a grudge against Donald's second wife until the day she died. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Nicki Swift videos about people in the news are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.